Good morning.
Hey,
Good morning.
Hey, first off, I just want to, Eric Chenander is the defensive coordinator at Nebraska. His dad passed away. He's a long-time high school coach in the state of Iowa. Eric was on my staff at Oregon, and was fortunate enough to coach with him in Philly. And just, we lost a great man. The coaching community did. And our thoughts and prayers from our entire program go out to Eric and his family and everybody at Nebraska. His dad, Gene, was a hell of a man. And we lost a really good guy. So.
Did you reach out to the Nebraska program?
I talked to Eric, so he's a really good friend of mine, and it was tragic. It was a car accident, so it was something sudden. So, but in Eric fashion and the Chenander fashion, he actually still coaching the game on Saturday. And now there's a service today and a funeral tomorrow. Now we won't be able to attend. There's a bunch of our guys that know Chins really well. Myself and Coach Has both worked with him, and Don Pellin worked with him. So, our thoughts and prayers over the Chenander family. Question?
What did you see on the film from Saturday's game?
I thought our defense did a really good job. They held them to under 300 yards of offense. They tackled really well. They created 2 turnovers, and critical ones. Start the game. It was a big one to kind of set the tone early. And then what we did in the fourth quarter. The first play of the fourth quarter, Blay had a tackle for loss of -4, forced him to punt. We had a 13-play drive that went 90 yards and we scored. Our defense went back out on the field, created a turnover, and our offense went back out on the field with 4 minutes and 50 seconds, and they had 3 timeouts and ran the ball every down and ran the clock out. So, I thought it was a really good team victory, and we had contributions from everybody in all phases. So.
Will we see Kyle Phillips at practice today?
You will.
Is he available?
He's available.
Okay. Now that you've reviewed the film, I know last week we were talking about Washington's run defense and how statistically they weren't good, although you pointed out several of their good players.
Sure.
But you guys pretty much rolled them pretty hard with the run game. They were giving up 180 per game. You guys got 260. What was the success in the run game?
The fact that you have a quarterback that you have to defend is a difficult thing in college football. Like Dorian ended up with 87. Zach ended up with 130, and then you have Britt. So, it's a tough deal to deal with because the ball can go either way. And a lot of times some of those rushing yards are maybe a designed pass play call where people are in coverage. So it's actually not the rush defense, but it's the ability to contain the quarterback. And Dorian's done a really good job of understanding where those receivers are, and if the first, second, and third option are covered, and maybe get the chance to get out and use his legs. So. It was just a really good effort by our entire group rushing the football on Saturday.
How have you seen Dorian improve in terms of deciding when to run, how to run, maybe when to slide?
Yeah, I think he's done a really good job of that. You watched him, we always preach to our quarterbacks, touchdown, first down, get down. You don't want him to take a hit on every play. It's part of one of the abilities everybody talks about for a quarterback is availability. You don't want him to take some of those shots. So, he went down in the Stanford game, and then he's such a tough kid, came back and played in that game, and hasn't been 100%. He's probably back to close to normal in this game, and you kind of saw it, but I think he's really making really good decisions right now. We've got 2 interceptions on the season. One of them was at the end of the half. The other one was a busted coverage in the LSU game where the defensive back wasn't where he was supposed to be, his man coverage, and he got caught on the wrong side. So I thought he's done a really good job making decisions this year, and really happy with how he's run our football team.
What can you say about the guys up front? I mean, this is the 4th game where you've held an opponent to under 100 yards rushing. What can you say about the pressure and what the guys are doing individually?
I think our D-line is doing a really nice job. And I think a guy like Odua probably played his best game for us and was recognized one of our players of the game on the defensive side of the ball. Otito has been solid all year long, in there. But then the other guys, we're rotating a ton of guys through there. Jay Toye's playing a lot. Tyler Manoa's starting to get some run. Daytona Jackson has played really well for us. Bo Calvert has played really well in the transition to outside linebacker. Has done a really nice job, and I think our inside linebacker play has really upped in what Caleb can do and what Jordan has added to our depth. What Cahill has added to our depth, and Kane and John in there. So we have more depth than we've ever had an inside linebacker. So I think that front 7 is doing a really nice job.
Is there any? Is Mitchell Agude available?
Yep.
Is Paul Grattan available today?
Yep.
Antonio Maffi played a lot.
You want to go through the whole lineup? We can just go available.
I was leading
I'm just
into
enamored
this.
by what
Is Mo Osling?
Mo Osling's available.
I was just leading into because Antonio Maffi played a lot of left guard in the fourth quarter. Was that?
No, they just rotate. So
just rotation. Okay.
Paul played more snaps than Neo, but we always rotate Neo in, so we feel like we've got multiple starters in the offensive line. So I don't look up and say, hey, this guy's in, where's that guy in? We're just rotating people. So.
Have you had a chance to watch any of the film from Oregon's game on Friday night?
Yeah, we've watched every game Oregon's played, and we watched last year's game of Oregon's. We've watched every game this season, and then our game last year. And if there's any correlating games from a breakdown standpoint, formationally, both ways that we'll look at. So we've watched every game by the time we get on Monday. So.
I was specifically referring to Friday night because Kayvon Thibodeau had to sit out the first half, but then you saw what he did in the second half. What are your thoughts on him?
Yeah, he's a very good player. We got to be aware of where he is. They use him and they put him. They move him to multiple places. And like anybody, you have to make sure you know where he is on every play.
It's been a long road of injury with Martin Andrews. How have you seen him kind of progressing at least?
Yeah,
in
Martin's
practice?
still working really hard. He's available. He'll be. They're doing more with him now. He's doing more with him now. I know he's excited, and we'll see how he progresses out here in the training sessions.
Have you talked to the team at all about having college game day on campus and kind of the?
Not yet. We meet on Mondays. We're real specific in what we do, so we talk immediately about the game we just played. Then we break and go watch that, and then we talk immediately about the scouting report. So the game day part doesn't happen until Saturday. So we'll touch base on that this week. But our mornings are pretty structured in terms of what we're doing, and so it's really about putting the last game to bed. And we talk about the preparation phase, the competition phase, and the learning phase. So we do the learning phase when we come in the first thing on Monday mornings, and then we start on scouting report for our next opponent, both offensively, defensively, and special teams wise. So there wasn't enough time to get any of that other stuff in, and there will be as the week goes along. But that won't occur till Saturday. So Monday, we'll concentrate on what we got to get done on Monday.
How big of an opportunity do you think that is for the campus to have?
I think it's cool. I think it's great for our fans. I think it's great for our student body. Especially after last year when nobody could go to games. And the fact that now we get to come back, everybody gets to attend. We've had some unbelievable settings there. The win over LSU and the crowd that we had there was memorable when you start to think about it. It's an early kick, so I think we're going to get a lot of people there, get a lot of kids there. I think it should be fun. So I think it's a great opportunity for our fans and a great opportunity for students.
You lost your last 2 home games. What would you say to fans who maybe you want to put on a bit of a better show for this week?
We just don't talk about it. We talk about the next game. So I think we're 5-2, and we got a really good football team. You should come out and see us play.
With your experience up at Oregon when you were coaching up there, and then correlating it to you saw the game Friday night, how weird was it that the crowd was booing their own offense on Friday?
I didn't know that they were. So.
They were booing Anthony Brown pretty hard up there.
We watched the game tape, so I don't watch the TV copy, so I couldn't tell you what and really when we're playing in games, it's like a game tape to me, so I'm always unaware of the crowd, so I couldn't tell you what went on or I don't have a comment on that. I didn't even know that it occurred. So.
What are your early thoughts on the quarterback and the offense?
Yeah, for Oregon.
Yeah,
they do a great job with him. He's a kid that can beat you both running and throwing. They had a critical 4th down in the Fresno State game. They called speed option, so they have confidence in him. And he converted and made a big play for him in that game to win the game for him. So I think they got great confidence in him. I think Joe does a really good job in putting him in plays. It's an RPO-based offense. Everything they do is try to put your defense in conflict. They probably throw more RPOs or run more RPOs than anybody in the country. That's kind of what their MO is. They're trying to trick you and fool you, and you got to be really disciplined with our eyes. And our defense has to be really disciplined this week.
What's your experience facing Joe Moorhead-led offenses?
Once we played him last year. So
that was it.
When he was at Penn State, we never played Penn State, and we never played Mississippi State. So just last year's game up there.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.